The Marina, your new ship, huh?
Yes, she's actually being built currently in Genoa, and we will see her delivered in January of 2011, and she's going to be fabulous. She's going to differ from the current vessels. We currently have 3 vessels that are 684 guests on 30,000 tons, and very boutique sort of setting on board, like an old world Europe hotel, if you want to think of it that way. The Marina
The Great
is
Orient Express feeling?
sort of, yeah. That's a good way to put it. The Marina, however, is going to be more of an evolution of what we already have, kicked up a notch, if you will. We've actually got our owner suites being designed by Ralph Lauren Home, and Dakota Jackson has designed our Vista Suites. Lalique Crystal has actually designed our entry staircase, so she's just going to be stunning, but a little larger. We're going to, on average, double the size of the staterooms and the suites. So we're going from 30,000 tons on the Regatta, the Insignia, and the Nautica to 60,000 tons on the Marina. The Marina is going to come across the Atlantic after her inaugural release, and we're going to do some Panama Canal and some Caribbean. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to have her entire European season that will begin April of 2011 all the way through November of 2011. So she'll have a heavy Mediterranean presence and Baltic and North Cape as well. Well, we market ourselves for the 55 plus market. However, there are plenty of people on both sides of that number in age. So our itineraries happen to be a little longer than the average cruise line. So we don't do the 3, 5, 7 day market. We are 10 days plus. And we're all the way into the 40-day cruise market now. So normally the retired client, 55 plus, has that time on their hands. So, but that doesn't mean that we're not getting a lot of families, a lot of honeymooners. So every cruise sort of has its own dynamic. You might have a lot of families on the Christmas cruises and the summer cruises where you won't have as many young families during the year. But generally speaking, we are attracting people that are very interested in very port-intensive itineraries. We're in port almost every day on a 10, 12, 14-day itinerary. We have very few sea days. So we're very port intensive. We do a lot of overnighting in a lot of the ports that we visit, and we are definitely a food and wine enthusiast type of cruise line. The dining's spectacular.
Well, there are always companies, and certainly travel companies, that have very famous founders, owners. Sir Richard Branson. I understand Oceania Cruises has someone interesting who's the owner-founder. Tell us a little bit.
Well, it's an interesting story. I'll shorten it as much as I can. The ships were previously owned by another line, and when they parked them in the south of France, because that line was no longer operating, Joe Waters, who was the president of Crystal Cruises at the time, and Frank Del Rio, who was the second in command at the former cruise line that owned these, they got together and formed a new company. And fast forwarding 8 years now, we've just been recently acquired by Apollo Management Corporation, and they also own Regent Cruise Line, our sister company. So is that what you were referring to?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, how much of it? So, how much of the stamp of and the whole flavor of Oceania are these two fellows?
Oh, unbelievable! Joe Waters had a huge background with cruise companies such as Royal Viking and Princess and Crystal, and Frank Del Rio had been at Renaissance. So they blended the best business practices, if you will, and we've come up with this fabulous 5-star, upper premium, very resort casual, fabulous dining concept. It's just something that is almost undescribable compared to other cruise lines.
Before I let you go, Nancy, what's the website for Oceania Cruises?
www.oceanacruises.com.